What is going on, y'all? The NCZ3 here, and I'm so glad you stopped by. That's right, you Malakis. No, but you! To spend some of your quality time to hang out with me today, because we are going to be talking about relics. That's right, guys. The number one question that I am getting asked right now is relics. I need a better setup. How is this working? All that good stuff. So I'm going to give you guys some really good tips, tricks, guides, whatever you want to call it, right? We're going to cover that in this video. So guys, if you are interested in relics and how to improve yourself, please stay tuned, right? So let's go ahead and knock this right off the bat, guys. I am letting you know right now, a lot of people I've noticed have been rushing their war gear over their lunar flutes and sentinel circlets. Stop it! There's no reason to do that, right? You always want to have your maximum grade lunar flutes and sentinel circlets, always. If you can produce gold lunar flutes, great. If you can only produce purples, and what I mean by purples is, yeah, it takes a lot of ingredients to make just one gold. So, and a lot of guys get stuck up on the minerals, but that's besides the point, okay? I would highly recommend making a minimum of 3 purple lunar flutes and 3 purple sentinel circlets before you venture into your actual war gear. Don't neglect those, because you do need those buffs, you do need those timer reductions if you plan on actually doing anything in the game. Otherwise, you're just going to go off of whatever you have on you in your talents, which is kind of poor if you ask me, right? Or whatever's off your heroes as well. So what I recommend, guys, is always 3 purple lunar flutes minimum and 3 purple sentinel circlets minimum, okay? And then after that, decide for yourself, okay? Well, a lot of guys, a really popular build right now is cavalry ranged. That's a very popular build, and it's a very viable build too, right? And so a build that kind of beats that is either really heavy range or using things like infantry wedges. Infantry wedges actually beat that because anyways, what I'm trying to say here is that, I know if you say, well, I got a cavalry wedge, anyways, we're not going to get into that, right, fam? What I'm trying to say here is not enough people come over here and actually use this filter down here. I'm letting you guys know right now it definitely exists. And a lot of people, I'm letting you know right now again, they come to me, they say, hey, I asked so-and-so for advice, Stridux, and he said I should build this, and I started building it, but then you tell me something different. Why? And then I tell him, well, if you break down the stats that I tell you guys, attack is always at the very top. It is the most important stat out of all your military stats, okay? It goes attack, HP, defense at the bottom, right? And so those people that are telling you to use a Death Gazer helmet over a Berserker Tusk helmet, if you're infantry, if you have infantry in your troops, they're giving you very bad information. That's all I'm saying, fam, all right? So let's just hypothetically speak, right? I am an all-ranged person. I love ranged troops. I want to have all ranged, but I want to have a small meat shield of, like, let's say cavalry, okay? Let's just say you're like 900k ranged troops and 100k cavalry, right? You're going to go all ranged in your, you're going to go all ranged stats. So you're just going to go to your filter. Bro, look, here's ranged attack right there. Hit the okay button. Look at the helmets, okay? There is currently no free-to-play ranged attack helmet in the entire game. There's currently 0. 0 is the number, okay? Because each one of these require an ultra-rare ingredient. And if you don't know what the ultra-rare ingredients are, you know, it's best to ask somebody, because there's quite a few of them. Like the Jade Orb is the one for the Wormbone Coronet, and the Queen's Bee, the Queen Venom right there, right? That's the ultra rare. So what I'm trying to say here, fam, is that currently there's not one for your helmet, right? But what about your chest pieces, right? Well, there's not a ranged chest piece either that doesn't require an ultra rare ingredients. You guys kind of see where I'm going with this, right? So some pieces are significantly harder to make than others, right? But it doesn't really matter what troop type you are, because a lot of people are seriously very blind and they don't understand how the filter actually works. So they ask, what is the best item? I just want to know what the best is. I don't care about going through this stuff. I just want to know what the best is. That's all. And then I tell them, you know, bro, that level 1 item is the best, right? I don't know. I don't troll like that. But what I'm trying to say here, fam, is that the filter, and let's just say hypothetically just like this, right? I want to know what's the best infantry cavalry main hand weapon. I want to know what the best one is, right? So I've got Fiery Tomahawk right here. That's 10% cavalry, 6.5% infantry attack, right? So, bro, write that down or make a very good mental note, okay? Do something on the lines of that because, you know, bro, you're going to have to compare, right? So here's one that's infantry. Here's two that's infantry, right? This is a 10% infantry, 5% range, but I don't want that. I want cav and infantry, okay? Well, this one's got infantry and army max HP. That's pretty good, okay? Same thing for the Fiery Tomahawk. It's all attacks, and so, but here's the other thing right here, right? Everybody thinks you need to have level 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 relics and whatnot. Bro, the septic spikes are amazing. It's 9% and 9%. That is amazing. The same thing goes for like your offhands, right? Go to your infantry offhands, and you can do the same thing, right? Well, this one's, you know, 9% infantry attack, yada, 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 right? But not a lot of guys really look at the filters, okay? It's very, very easy to do that. And what I would do is prioritize attack, HP, and then defense. And I recommend everybody all the time to have mixed troops. That means, let's say out of 640,000 troops, like for my trap account, I'm going to have 640K, either T1, T2, or T3 troops, or a mixture of all three, right? I am going to do 213K of each troop type, because if somebody attacks me with, let's say, like a heavy cavalry ranged setup, well, they're not going to zero me out, right? But if I was like heavy infantry, that might do a lot of damage, right? That might do a little bit too much damage to me, right? So what I'm trying to say here, fam, is that you need to diverse yourself. But, you know, when you diverse yourself, you need equipment. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is that you really shouldn't rush into your war gear, okay? You really shouldn't rush into it, because all of the free-to-play relics are becoming better and better and better, right? So like this one that just released, the Queen Bee set, these honeycomb chaps, these things are absolutely sweet. They are seriously really, really, really good, all right? But somebody would still tell you, hey, bro, use the Snow Beast Winter Stompers, right? Because it's 13% army defense. Well, my guy, I would much rather have 12% cavalry attack and 12% ranged attack over the 13% army defense. I would much rather have that, because the more attack you have, the more damage you do, and the less troops you actually lose. Defense just is a damage reduction. The attack stacks up, and it's harder to stack it's harder to stack attack than any other stat. That's why it's worth more as well. So just always remember, keep that in mind in the back of your brain. And so, like I said, guys, for like me and my cabinet, it's pretty bare, right? I've got three flutes, 3 circlets. I haven't even started making any other piece of gear because, well, first off, I'm not 60. I'm not in any shape or form ready to attack people, and I'm kind of waiting right now to see what other relic sets come out so that I can claim those free-to-play items, those really, really super good ones, because I don't feel like spending a lot of money on my trap account. I really don't. And so the honeycomb chaps, absolutely amazing. I mean, let's see here. The honeycomb chaps, it sucks that they're both boots or they're both legs, but the corrupted boots are amazing, right? The Blackwing set, this main hand is amazing. Or the main hand is pretty amazing, right? The Saber Fang, unfortunately, these ivory chokers really aren't that bad, but I would rather use the Lost Island relics. That's just personally me, but if you're more into cav, then sure, use the cav stuff, right? It all depends on your troop setup. And no, I'm not going to go around and tell you, well, if you're cav, use this. If you're infantry, use this. Bro, use the filter. I promise you, promise you. Once you start writing it all down, like if you were like, well, I want the best, let's just go with cavalry attack, right? I want the best cavalry attack helmet, right? Well, bro, the best free-to-play one is Bloodstained Helmet, right? The chest piece, well, there isn't a free-to-play chest piece with cavalry attack on it. Well, we don't got to discount that, right? How about we plug in army attack, right? Bam. Armor of the Abyss, 5% army attack. Now let's go ahead and go into army HP. And the Winter Park is not free to play. This is only 5% HP. Yeah, these ones aren't anywhere near as good as 5% attack. So let's go to army defense. Maybe we can get one with really high defense. And at 5%, this one's 10, but that's not free to play. So 6.2, look guys, the army attack will absolutely outweigh the army defense and the army HP. So your next bet would be the Armor of the Abyss, right? Let's go to your boots, right? This is really quick, right? This is the last one I'm going to do, and I'm going to end this video, right? So, you know, when you go to your cavalry attack, right up around, oh, there it is, boom, right there, right? You got your cavalry attack boots, right? You have 10% army defense right here. Well, if your only cavalry attack, Bro, the Winter Stompers are going to be really, really nice at 7% attack and 13% defense, but the Honeycomb ones have 12% attack. And my understanding is it's about 2 defense for every 1 attack, right? And it's about 1.5%. It's about 1.5 HP per 1 attack. So that's at least my understanding of it. It might be slightly different or even way more different. But what I'm trying to say here, fam, is that if you're split troops, the Honeycomb chaps are actually really sweet. You know, that doesn't mean the durable boots aren't any good, right? Because that 10% defense isn't too bad. But you should really, 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 really weigh the pros and the cons and kind of sort out the gear like that, right? But on that note, though, guys, y'all know what I'm talking about, though. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Be safe. Thanks for stopping by and spending some of your quality time to hang out with me today. And, yeah, stay classy.